I hear a lot about Donald Trump now, and he was in Iowa recently, and he always says that his favorite book is the Bible when he's in Iowa, because there's a lot of evangelical Christians there. Well, the media asked him about his favorite verses. Could he talk about it? He didn't want to talk about it. He said it was private. Well, I heard, I don't know if this is true, that when he was walking off the stage one day, he was overheard talking to one of his aides about the book of Genesis, particularly the passage about God creating the world in 6 days. Trump said he'd have done it in half the time, at half the cost, and he would have had Satan pay for it. So I don't know if that's true. You guys just have to use your own judgment on that. You know, I'm really getting confused with the media nowadays. So this whole big thing is whether Ben Carson was offered a scholarship to West Point or not. And I can tell you, people say that all the time. I'm a Navy guy. We do the appointments in the Congress. But fine, if you think that's a big deal, more power to you. But it's interesting. The media doesn't make a big deal when Hillary Clinton lies about she claims she landed in Bosnia under sniper fire. They showed the video and she's handed a wreath, she's shaking hands and laughing. So you're having a different standard applied to a Republican than you're applying to a Democrat. And oh, by the way, I can tell you, because we actually just this weekend, I was talking to some folks, we had our Academy nomination interviews. I've been doing this for a couple years. Ben Carson would have gotten into West Point. There's no doubt about it. I can tell you this, not a single one of those liberal journalists would have been good enough to get into West Point. You can take that to the bank. And I hear also things about, you know, Marco Rubio making these like piddling charges on some American Express card. It's like a big deal for the media. Now, okay, I don't really see it, but fine if you're going to do that. But then how could you not make a big deal about Hillary Clinton as Secretary of State allowing the transfer of uranium to the Russian government? The investors in that deal had donated over $100 million to the Clinton Foundation. So these are huge amounts of cash going from foreign governments, foreign investors, to the Clinton Foundation. She's acting as Secretary of State, and we act like that's not really a big deal. The media, they just want to move on. Could you imagine if in January of 2017, if I'm in the Senate, I hope to be able to cast a vote to confirm someone like John Bolton as Secretary of State? Can you imagine if Bolton was involved with giving uranium to Russia? The media would go crazy, absolutely crazy. So this is a major double standard, and we have to simply call it what it is. Democrats, when the media does debates with them, you have Democrat journalists interviewing Democrat candidates. Why do we want the media to pick our candidates? They're all liberal Democrats. I don't want to hear any of this nonsense, and we got to get away from doing these dumb CNBC debates. Let's us pick our candidate. Let's have it be a conservative candidate.